In the previous video, I already explained about the leaky bucket algorithm explanation, how algorithm is going to work and how you have to execute the program. So now we'll see what a leaky bucket is and how the program is going to execute. So as I already told, a leaky bucket algorithm, it is an analogy of how bucket will leak or overflow when it exceeds its capacity. So it is used in packet switched computer and also in a telecommunication network where there is a variation in traffic flow. Now we'll see the program explanation. So we have hash include stdio.h. It is an header file. It is a standard input output header file where we can use the printf and scanf functions. Hash include std_lib.h. It is a standard library header file which includes the memory allocation process control. Next we have define, hash define. Hash define, it is a user defined macros. So we have here the macro is of condition statement, that is minimum of x comma y and x greater than y. If these two conditions are true, accordingly the values of it is going to be assigned to a y variable and x variable. So let's see in detail. If I assign the value of x and y, suppose if I take the x value to be 2 and y value to be 3, so I'll get the minimum of 2 comma 3. I'll get the minimum of 2 comma 3 is 2 itself, and that 2 is going to be assigned to a variable that is y. Where if I consider the value that is 2 is greater than 3, the condition is false and it is not going to be assigned to an x variable. Suppose if the condition was true, then it is going to be assigned to an x variable. So this is a conditional statement we have used here, and it is user defined macros, and it can be used, this functionality, it can be used anywhere inside the program. So we know that in a C program, execution always starts from the main function. Here we have int main function. Int main function means it is going to return an integer variable to a main function. Next we have declared the variables. So we have declared the variables like O rate. O rate, it indicates an output rate. Drop, we have initialized it to a 0. CAP cap, it indicates the capacity of the bucket. X, count equal to 0. Input INP of 10. It is an array location that is going to start from 0 to 9. We have initialized it to a 0 value, I equal to 0, n second, comma ch. All these variables we have declared, and it is of an integer data type. Printf, enter bucket size. So it is going to print the statement that is enter bucket size, that we can see in the output here, enter bucket size. I have entered here the bucket size to be as 5. So I have entered here the bucket size to be as 5, and this 5, it is going to be saved in a variable that is cap. So the scanf statement %d, that is of an integer type, it is going to fetch the variable what I have entered on the console, and it is saved in a variable that is CAP. So what is the value of CAP now? It is equal to 5. Next, printf, enter output rate. So it is going to print the statement enter output rate on the console like this, enter output rate. I have entered here the output rate to be as 2. So it is the scanf statement that is of an integer data type. It is going to fetch the value what I have entered, and it is going to save it in a variable that is O rate. So the value of O rate, it is equals to 2. Next we are using here do while loop. A do while loop, it is used, it is going to execute the certain set of statements repeatedly, and then it is going to check the condition. That is a speciality of a do while loop. So first it is going to execute the statements continuously, and then it is going to check the condition. Fine. So now we have first is do. So printf, enter the number of packets coming at second %d I plus 1. So this statement, it is going to be printed here, and in place of %d, what value we are going to fetch is I plus 1. What is the value of I? I we have initialized it to 0. So here I value, it is initialized to 0. So 0 plus 1, so it is going to be 1. So thus it is going to print the statement enter number of packets coming at second 1. So that only we have got on the output console. Enter number of packets coming at second 1. So what is the value I have entered here? I have entered the value as 3, and that 3 value, it is going to be fetched by using a scanf statement, scanf %d, since it is an integer data type, and it is going to be saved in an array location, that is an INP of 0. What is the value of I here? So value of I was initially 0, so I value, it is 0. In the 0th memory location, the value 3 what I have entered, it is going to be saved. Next, I am going to increment the value of I, that is I 0 plus 1, so that is a new value of an I, it is equals to 1. Next, printf, enter 1 to continue or 0 to quit. Now if I enter the value 1, then it is going to continue it, and if I press 0, it is going to quit out from the loop and execute the last statement, that is get ch, or it is going to just come out of this do loop. If it is a first trial, if I just press 1, it is going to continue, and if I press 0 for the first trial itself, it is going to come out of the do while loop. Now since I am going to press here 1, so in that value 1, it is going to be saved in ch variable. I have pressed 1, so it is going to be saved in ch variable. Now since I have incremented the value of I, again I am going to print this statement, that is enter number of packets coming at second. Now since the value of I is 1, now 1 plus 1, it is going to be 2. So for the next trial, so I am going to get like this, enter number of packets coming at second 2, correct? So and that value I have entered here 3, and that is going to be saved in the value of I now here is 1. So in the first memory location, it is going to save again 3. Again it is going to ask, that is whether 1 means to continue or 0 means to quit. Again I am going to press it as 1. So the value of ch is again 1. Again the I value is incremented to 2. So 2 plus 1, that is 3. So here again 3 will be printed, and it is stored in second memory location. This process is continued until you press 0 here. So when you press 0, so while loop is not executed. So when you press 1, this while loop, it is going to be executed for the first condition. So while loop is executed one time, and from where we have got the ch value? We have got the ch value from enter 1 to continue or 0 to quit. That one value, it is going to save it here. So if we press 1, it is going to continue. If we press 0, it is not going to continue. So that the same thing, it is shown here. So I have pressed 3. It is saved in the memory location of INP, array location INP of 0, INP of 1, INP of 2, INP of 3, INP of 4, INP of 5. So in the up to the 5th memory location, so we have saved the data. So the now I value has stopped up to INP of 5. That is, I value is 5 now. Up to this value, it has been stopped. See here, the same way, press enter 1 to continue. I have continued here. I have continued, and finally I have quitted by pressing 0. Next. Now we are going to execute the while loop. So while of 1, the condition is true. So it is going to enter inside the while loop. Nsec, it is equals to I. What is the previous last value of an I? The previous or the last value of an I was at 5. So INP of 5, we up to the 5th location we have saved, and after that we have quitted from the loop. So nsec, it is equals to I, that is the value of I is 5. Printf /n, that is a new line character, second, received, sent, dropped, remained. So we have here /t. It indicates that it is an escape character, or it is nothing but a tab what we are going to press it in our computer for spacing. So the same way we have got here second, received, sent, dropped, remained. with certain spaces in between that indicates the tab, that is nothing but /t. Next, for loop for I equal to 0. Now the value of I, it is 0 in this loop. So I equal to 0, count. So what is the count value we have assigned? The count value we have assigned to 0 here. So that's why the same value we are going to take here, 0 or function of 0. I value is 0 because, so 0 less than nsec. What is the value of an nsec? Nsec is 5. So 0 is less than 5. How OR condition is going to work? It is an logical statement. How OR condition is going to work? If any one condition is true, then this is going to be true. So here count is 0 and I 0 less than nsec, the condition is true. Yes. So this one condition I can take it as a true and I'll enter into the for loop since this condition is true. So I'll enter into the for loop. So printf %d I plus 1. So what is the value of I here? It is 0. So 0 plus 1 is 1. Now printf /t %d /t input inp of, what is the value of I? That is 0. So in the 0th location what we have stored, that is 3. So suppose if I consider this output, so you can see here 1 you have and 3 you have, correct? So now go back to the program. You can see here printf %d 0 plus 1, it is 1. So it is going to be printed in this statement. It is going to print the value in the first column, that is second. Next statement is printf inp of 0. So what we have saved in inp of 0? So we have saved inp of 0, that is 3 we have saved. That is going to be printed after certain tab space, means 3 is going to be printed for the received column. Don't confuse with the alignment here. The first column it is for the second, then second column it is for the received, the third column it is for the sent, fourth column it is for the dropped, and fifth column it is for the remained. So now inp 0, 3 will be printed after certain tab space. Next printf /t, that is a tab space, %d. Now we are going to calculate the minimum of inp. Now we are going to calculate the minimum of inp of 0 plus count, comma O rate. So minimum of, so how we have got the minimum function? Because we have defined what is a minimum function here. So and I told this statement can be used anywhere inside our source code. So minimum of inp of 0, we have 3 plus count value is 0, comma O rate. O rate is nothing but the output rate. I have defined the output rate value, it is equal to 2. Now I am going to compare here. So minimum of 3 comma 2. So which is the minimum of 3 comma 2? 2. 2 is the minimum value. So that is going to be printed. Now where it is going to be printed? It is going to be printed in the third column after certain tab space, that is 2 here. So that is 2 here, it is going to be printed. Now we are going to enter into an if statement. If x equal to inp of 0. So what we have in inp of 0, that is 3 we have, plus count equal to how much? Count equal to 0 minus O rate. The value of O rate is 2 now. So x equal to 3 minus 2. 3 minus 2, that is going to be 1. So 1 is greater than 0. 1 is greater than 0. Yes, the condition is true. Now I am going to enter inside the second if loop. If x, the value of x, what I have got? I have got 1. So 1 is greater than cap. So what is the value of cap we have defined? So in cap it is going to say the bucket size. So we have given the bucket size as 5. So 1 is greater than 5. The condition is true? No, the condition is not true. So it is going to execute else statement. So in else statement, count it is equal to x. So what is the value of x here? The value of x we have calculated as 1 and the value of drop will be 0. So that is going to be printed. The value of drop it is equal to 0 and remained value we have taken here and it is saved in a temporary variable as count. So count value it is nothing but remain in this column. So here we have x that is 1 is greater than 5, condition is false, that's why we have executed this else condition. Now we are not going to execute this condition. Why? Because if this if condition was false, then we would have not entered into this if part, we would have directly executed this else part if this condition was false. But here we have got this condition to be true. So that's why we entered into the if loop and executed this if statement and we didn't execute this else statement. Next, after this execution, we are going to print here. So print after certain tab space drop comma count. Next, after this printing statement, again we are going to execute for the second condition, second while loop, that is ch equal to 1 again for second means for the second equal to, we up to now what I have explained it is for the second one. Next the while loop it is for the second 2. For that also we have got the ch value as 1, correct? Ch value here as 1. So the second 2 will going to be executed now. So the second 2 is executed. The same process it is going to be received again, repeated again. So let's see it. So while ch is 1 again, now n second it is equal to 5. Now it is going to be, you are going to print it everything. Next for I equal to 0 less than 5, the condition is true. Again you are going to print it. Now you are going to compare. You are going to take the memory location I value to be equal to 1 because this for loop has to increment, correct? So this for loop will be incremented now. So initially I have explained it for I value to be equal to 0. Now I will explain for I value to be 1. Means that is for second condition. So I value it is equals to 1. So here 1 plus 1 it is going to print. So that is going to take it for this second 2, correct? Next, printf after certain tab space inp of array location I value is now 1. So it is going to take second array location, means it is going to take the second value, that is 3. Now again it is going to execute this condition, that is minimum of inp of 1. What we have in inp of 1, that is 3 plus what we had the value of count earlier. The value of count it is nothing but remained, I told. The remained is nothing but 1. For the first trial the remained was 1, that is nothing but the count variable. So here inp of 1 is nothing but 3 plus count value is 1, means we are going to get 4 comma 2, which is least. Minimum of 4 comma 2 it is 2, so I am going to take it as 2. So that will be printed in the third column. So the third column what we have the third column as sent, so that's why it is printed here as 2. Next is if statement, if inp of 1. So what we have in inp of 1, we have 3 plus count value is 1, minus over 8 is 2. So 3 plus 1 it is 4 minus 2 it is 2 is greater than 0. Yes, the condition is true. 2 is greater than 0, the condition is true. So I am going to enter inside this for if loop. So if x value is 2, now 2 is greater than 5 because the capacity value is 5. 2 is greater than 5, The condition is true or not? No, the condition is false. So it is going to execute the else statement. So else statement, count equal to x. X value is how much? It is 2. So it is assigned to count. Count is nothing but what? It is nothing but remain. So that's why we have got here 2. And what is the value of drop? The value of drop is 0. So like this, the for loop will be incremented, and each time it is going to consider the while condition, and it is going to enter into this columns, and continuously this process is being executed until you get the quit button. At last we have get ch, and you are going to return 0 value. So this is about leaky bucket. I hope you understood. Try to practice it with different examples.